How's it going, everybody? Thank you for joining us on another beautiful Monday here on the GG Sports Podcast. Mercifully, we have finally reached the last week of the preseason. We're about to get into some real football here pretty quickly. Obviously, the big news of the day: Stephon Gilmore was at his first Vikings practice today.
Let's go.
All is right in Vikings land. I'm feeling good. Jamie, how about you? How you feeling on this beautiful Monday here on the GG Sports Podcast?
Hey, it is pretty nice out here, I would say. Man, good. Obviously, I've mentioned it before. We were on Saturday. We're doing all kinds of live streams last weekend, but we mentioned it before. Browns talking all that mad shit during the week. Preseason is what it is, but we go out there and whoop their ass. So you gotta love it, and we're gonna go into some players that we thought stood out the most in this game, because honestly, and then there just wasn't a lot of players that would make a down list. I mean, we'll talk about some. I guess we have a couple in our mind here, but yeah, mostly good. But I'm gonna do some shout outs here. We got Barber in here right away. Skull to all, let's go. Skullfest, here I come, dude. I can't wait. Again, everybody in here. Obviously, we had that Saturday Skullfest show, and a lot of you guys were in there and helped us big times by dropping some donations to help with Skullfest. And we appreciate it so much. And man, it means so much because we have big goals for this. I mean, all of us and everybody that's going to Skullfest, man. I mean, we're all going to watch this thing transform into something big and pretty fucking awesome. So, of course, Skullfest, Corner Bar, September 14th. Everybody in here already knows, 6 to 10 p.m. Obviously going to be a great time. Let me keep going through some of these, though. We got, actually, might as well. Again, another show. We're giving another GG Sports podcast t-shirt. So get the hashtag. We are going to keep rocking the hashtag Skullfest. So get the hashtag Skullfest in the comments for your chance to win this at the end of the show. Y'all know how it is. You got to be here to win. Let's go. Who else we got in here? We got Bob Sweeb. What's going on, my guy? Bob in the building. Gary and Adam. We had a good conversation last night. I think, if anybody's pumped up, it's those guys. And I can't wait to, obviously, I already know what Gary brings to the table when it comes to a party like this, but I'm excited to see what Adam brings next. We might need to get a security guard. That's all I know for sure. But hey, that's all good. Hey, Big Raylan, my guy. What's going on, Raylan? What's going on? My cousin Gary in the building. GG's. What's up? Yeah, we got the hashtag Skullfest. Yeah, again, hashtag Skullfest in the comments. All that good stuff. But yeah. Anyways, back to Vikings football and just everything that's been going on this last couple days. Obviously, we'll kind of get into the Gilmore stuff. Like Casey said, that was huge news, in my opinion. I know there's a lot of people who are kind of a little bit pessimistic about this season to the point where it's like, why do you even get Gilmore? But we'll dive into that and why I think that was a great move for us to do, especially for anybody who wanted to go and trade for a guy like Lattimore right now. I wasn't really down for that, but going and grab a guy for Gilmore, $10 million, whatever, you got the money to do it. I'm cool with it, but we'll dive into that more in depth later in the show here. But I guess this game, I guess let's just dive right into this Cleveland Brown game. And I mean, what's your first overall thoughts of this game?
Well, obviously no starters played. There was one starter, which I think we'll talk about more in depth later. That being Ed Ingram. And I think a conversation does need to be had about Ed Ingram on this team and where he stands. We'll probably get into that a little bit later on here. Yeah. But overall, you notice a couple guys flash right away, right? You notice the two guys that really flashed in the first week with Jalen Naylor cementing himself as wide receiver 3, but Tristan Jackson, SK's guy, who's been on him for the last couple years. I know there's been some health issues that have kind of kept him off the field. But I'll tell you what, man, like while we're saying Jalen Naylor has cemented himself as that wide receiver 3, I do think the conversation seriously needs to be had that Tristan Jackson is right there behind him. I mean, a couple of nice routes in the first couple of weeks, that beautiful toe tap touchdowns from Nick Mullins, who before JJ McCarthy, this was a conversation. I do think Nick Mullins is firmly implanted as the team's backup quarterback. I mean, obviously, even in this game, you see the reasons why he is a backup quarterback, but I thought he played really, really well this game. Jaron Hall, I think, is probably going to make our practice squad. I think he's going to be our emergency third quarterback. Kene had another good game as well. You saw the flashes there. I think on a first down run, he shed a couple tackles. and made his way there. Yeah, I mean, just kind of the names that we needed to see flashed. And I that's the first thing I noticed on the offensive defensive side. Man, I know we were going against the Browns twos, but I felt like the defense was, and that's kind of what I was going into this game watching, right? Because let's be honest, we don't really care about watching Nick Mullins. Seeing, guys like Naylor and Jackson's fun, but I was really going into this game knowing Darnold wasn't going to play and knowing there was no JJ McCarthy. I wanted to see how some guys on defense played. And I think overall, the depth on defense at certain positions is actually pretty good. And I know you and I had some huge issues with the defensive interior because we didn't feel like we addressed it enough. And I still think we need a premier guy at that spot.
Right.
But there is some young depth on this team that in the next couple of years, I mean, if you add one big name to that, I think you're looking at a pretty deep unit there. So I was overall, it's a lot of little bits and pieces there. Really, really impressed with all that. And then obviously the title of the video, I think we'll talk about it a little more in depth later. And again, we'll kind of talk about what all the playing time meant. I understand the stats look good because he did have a big sample size out there. But man, Lewis Cine, I mean, no matter what you think of the guy, whether he makes a team or not, it's nice to see a young kid who went through a lot of really unfortunate circumstances in his first few seasons.
Right.
Did what he did on Saturday. It really just at the end of the day, it's a really cool story, really cool to see, and hopefully it helps him continue his football career, whether here or somewhere else. But overall, I was like you said, there's not a lot of downs to talk about from this game. So overall, I was very impressed.
Yeah, you kind of got to reach a little bit. And you did mention a couple, and that would be Ed Ingram. A lot of people would say Caleb Evans, including me, specifically in coverage. And we're going to go through some PFF stuff here in a little bit just to get a better idea of how some of these guys played. But I think you made a really good point. I mean, if there's one thing to take away from this game overall, it's a lot of guys who needed to step up, really did. Like the guys like Jaren Hall, the guys like Lewis Cine, and had the opportunity to do and give them life to continue to try to make this roster here. But no, let's just go right into it. Let's go with our players that we thought made the biggest impact in this game, or at least helped themselves the most. And we're gonna start with let's go with PFF stuff first. Because I'm gonna kind of do a combo thing here. Because starting with Taki Taimani, right? Is that how you say that?
Yep.
We're starting with Taki Taimani. This is a guy. I mean, one thing that needs to be said for sure, and I already has been, I know everybody is, but it is ridiculous the amount of talent, or at least potential talent, that Kwesi brings in from undrafted free agents. It's like how many undrafted free agents make a roster in general, let alone like potentially could be an impact player on the team, just like we saw Ivan Pace. Maybe not to that extent of Ivan Pace where he starts right away, week one type of thing, but still, I mean, he's killing it. And Taki quietly, but not quietly, because you don't see anything bad from him. You see him stopping a bunch of runs. You see him kind of pushing some pressure, and he is that big guy. And I remember, and you talked to me about this before the show, where it was like, yeah, this is the guy that we were, that us and other people were talking about as like, all right, so we find out like we needed a big body. We got LDR. He's more of a pass rusher dude, but we did get this guy, this Taki, that is like that big nose tackle guy. Of course, undrafted free agent. So what can you expect from him? But he's came up big here. Let me bring up this.
But I think one of the things you said is really important when talking about him is like, there wasn't any splash plays, right? Like he's not getting after the quarterback. But near the end of the game there, late third, early fourth quarter, and even going into the fourth quarter, when there was a tackle made, you heard and saw his name around the player that was tackled and heard his name be announced. So I mean, that's kind of what you want out of a guy like that. Would it be? I mean, sure, you want a guy that can do a little bit of both, but I mean, with him being an undrafted free agent, really not getting a lot of buzz throughout the early portions of training camp, seeing him pop in a game like this at this point, it's pretty solid. And again, is he going to make the team? Maybe. He's probably, I mean, he's definitely on the bubble, but practice squad at the very least. You got a nice developmental piece there. But you got to love what you see from a guy at a position where we need as much help as possible.
And shout out to Jaden here. The cornerback room may not be the best, but it's definitely much better than the last 6 years. 100%, especially from a veteran presence. And
I mean, when was the last time we had a good cornerback room? Think about that. Like, was it 2017 with Xavier Rhodes?
Right.
We've kind of just been piecing it together ever since then.
Right. Big Raylan. Hey, no problem. I am the self-proclaimed running back guru. So if you have any questions during that draft, don't be afraid to ask us over here. I have to say 2017.
Yep, 2017. Yep, exactly.
Yeah,
I would agree with that one. Yeah, back in the prime Xavier Rhodes.
Xavier Rhodes. Yeah,
so
we haven't had a good.
Trey Wayne,
we haven't even had a good. We haven't have a good starting good cornerback since then. And I would say Stephon Gilmore, and we're going to dive into him in a bit here. I don't want to give too much yet, but I mean, you're talking about one of the best cornerbacks of his in the last 10 years. Obviously, he's 34 years old, but he still put up like a 70. He would have had easily the highest PFF grade of last year.
Like 13 PBUs and two picks, which
we could use anything. We need anything, honestly, especially in coverage. And I know, speaking of that, Griffin sounds like he's back today, slowly getting into everything, and it sounds like he could be full go by next week. Obviously, would be huge here. But let me dive into some of this PFF stuff really quick, because we were just talking about Taki, and that's why I wanted to bring this. And the top three here are, we're doing this a little different, I guess. We're going to be a little bit all over the place on this one. So I'm just going to bring up all these guys because this is our top. I'm just going to go through our top four that we think stands up, and then we'll kind of go with PFF and talking about them at the same time. Like I already said, we got Taki here. Dwight McGlothern, I think he's been so freaking impressive so far. Another undrafted free agent that I think is going to make a big impact. We had him as and I've mentioned it before, but we've had him as our Ivan Pace Jr., this year's Ivan Pace Jr., and he's really stepping up to show you that. And the main reason why we picked him for that is just because there's so much room for opportunity there. But it's not only that anymore. He's stepping up. And this is 2 weeks in a row that he's at the top of the PFF charts. And I believe he made top 10 with Taki, Taki made the number one defensive player in preseason for PFF grade. We do have Jaren Hall here. Obviously, we'll kind of go in his stats. Going 4 for 5, 87 yards and 2 touchdowns. A guy that I was starting to think, like, is he even going to make the practice squad? I don't like you bring in Matt Corral. Like, I do think you're going to see a duel between them, but I don't know. Do you keep them both on the practice squad if that was the case? But at this point, Jaren Hall, you have to feel just from that performance, it's like, okay. And that one throw to Jashawn Jones, man, beautiful throw. Beautiful throw. Everything we've always wanted to watch from a quarterback. That's like the exact type of throw. So that was really nice. And then, like we already said, Lewis Cine, the bodies have officially been, or a body for sure has officially been stacked. So that was huge there. But let's dive into some PFF stuff here, like I already said. But Taki, the top three on our list here. Taki, 91.2 defensive. Like I said, he was number one defender according to PFF, his grade this last weekend. 89.9 run defense, tackle 71.9. Dwight McGlothern, like I said, I think he had 2. They thrown towards his way twice. He didn't allow a single catch, and obviously what should have been a pick 6, but he kind of ran out of gas at the end there, it looked like. And then Lewis Cine, who obviously everybody knows. In my opinion, we say he had the best performance, even though he has 3rd in PFF grade, but 10 total tackles, 1 tackle for a loss, a sack, and interceptions. And like I said, that fucking massive stack body. It was, you gotta, like you said, like, imagine being a 1st round pick, going through that injury, and then all the fans and everything are going to be against you. And that's just kind of how it goes, whether you like it or not. That's just what's going to happen. And for him to really come out and have a game like that, like, he showed us what we wanted when we drafted him. Exactly. It's preseason. It's against second teams, against third teams. That does matter a lot in this situation, but still you did see it, and it does give him a real good shot at making this 53 in my opinion. I still think he might have an uphill battle, but I think I wouldn't be surprised if it ended today. I wouldn't be surprised if he snuck on the 53-man roster, but I do think they're going to want one more game that we see to, like, really see if he can duplicate what he did.
Yeah, and again, he had a ton of playing time. Like, he played every snap on defense. And that's the thing. People are like, well, he's playing against 2nd and 3rd teamers. Like, this doesn't change anything at all. It's like, he's whatever. It's still a bust. Like, A, would you rather see him suck against 2nd and 3rd teamers? And B, it's like, if you're eventually going to, develop and reach your full potential, like being a, end of the 1st round pick, you got to, like, stepping stones. You got to be able to start somewhere, right? Okay. And I think that's something that people do overlook with this. Like, they're just expecting, like, well, you were a 1st round pick. You got to be good like that. So with everything he's been through, it's just there are certain stepping stones he's going to need to go through. And hopefully this is the first one, getting extended playing time and finally getting to show what he can actually do on a football field. And again, was this Kevin O'Connell just giving him every opportunity to make this roster? Yes. You could also look at it on the flip side of, is this a potential like improving a trade value maybe, or even like we want to give you every amount of play possible, because if you don't make it here, you at least, because I think they do want to do right by him as well, right? Because you have to. And I think part of this would be just, hey, we want to get you, so you can show what you can do, that if you don't make it here, another team might take a shot and, and give you an opportunity to continue your career. So I think they're doing right by him and by themselves, seeing what you actually have in Lewis Cine now that he's a year in time removed from that injury. He's been able to learn the new defense. Because that's the thing. He was recovering, getting back on the field, and learning a whole new, more complicated defense. Yes. Under what some may call what some people may call a terrible person, Tua, Brian Flores. But I don't know, man. It's a cool thing for Lewis Cine. It's a cool little stepping stone, and I hope he comes out this next game and shows out as well, because I would like to see him get another shot on this team to maybe supplant Harrison Smith next year. That's a huge, because it's a huge gap there. Yeah, but if you're gonna start, you got to start somewhere, and it's just a fun game to watch.
Yeah, no, man. I think all of us are rooting for him, except for the Kwesi haters, yep. Which there is some, which I don't get. I know, right now too, like, I think, what was it? I don't know. Something this weekend, people started coming at Kwesi and calling him a badge. I don't know. I think he's done a pretty damn good job.
A lot of people are looking at it from like, now you're bringing in Gilmore, like you said.
With Gilmore, that was
what you trying to sign Gilmore for. Like, this is just a lost season anyway. Losers, angry people, all they want to do is be miserable. That's my response to that. Like,
dude, I just don't think this is a losing season. I'm like, what do you like?
You don't pay Sam Darnold $10 million if you're just going to completely fold this season. Like, that's when you bring in just a Ryan Tannehill, an aging veteran who you don't think has any potential left. Like, that's when you bring in guys like that when you're really looking to kind of start over.
We'll circle back to this because I know we want to dive into that, because like, I think people forget that we got Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison and Darrisaw and like all those things. So we're going to dive into it because I think he's done a phenomenal job other than the first preseason, but like we said first draft, but with Lewis Cine, but just back to him and obviously it would say a lot. That's why we want to root for him. I'm a guy who wants to root for someone that has been bad. There's so many people they're just ready to just call this guy off and say he sucks and get rid of him. And I'm like, dude, give him a chance. There's a reason why he was a first round pick. Yes, it happens all the time. First round picks become buzz. Like Jaden said too, Lewis Cine just needs to come back. People forgot he broke his leg. That's a big deal. Breaking your leg your rookie year. And then you made really good points changing defense to go into Brian Flores defense.
Well, that's what Zimmer, Kevin O'Connell said it today. That's not my words. He said it today during his press conference.
He did about Lewis Cine?
Yeah. He's broken leg, having to learn a new system. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's definitely it's possible. I'm just saying it is possible for Lewis Cine to come around and at least be some form of the player that we wanted him to be. And he showed that potential in this game. Again, second, third teams, he's got to show a lot more for us to really be convinced, like, okay, he's going to be a future safety or whatever. But he definitely made a great case for a roster spot. And I do think you're going to see a lot of them next week. And if he shows anything like he did this one, I think in my opinion, I think he's no doubt making the squad. And I do think if you're Kevin O'Connell and you're Kwesi, like, you put him on that field, you're the happiest, you're the most proud people in Vikings world, being able to see that guy succeed, because you've probably been rooting for him so bad. And obviously, I don't know.
That's my biggest argument with people in preseason. Like, oh yeah, they're doing this against the 2s and 3s. Yes, but they're standing out against the 2s and 3s. Like, that's what you want to see. Like, like JJ McCarthy. Everyone thought it was a great performance because he was playing against the 3s or the 2s, but he was pretty much dominating the 2s and the 3s. Like, that's how you know that you're better than that level. So people just forget, like, because everyone wants to like just put down on some of these guys, like, oh, they weren't playing against good competition. Like,
it's just where
people's bias is. You keep moving the goalposts, and you want this team to be back, so you want to continue to wallow in your misery. Some of you just need to learn how to be happy.
Yeah, I know. No, you make a great point. Like, I I think if you're excelling against second and third, like you said, that just means that you're better than that level of play.
Yeah, we're
and
on the level we're better. Like, not in all instances, but in some of them. Like even Kyle Sloter. Like Kyle Sloter dominated when he got out to play. Oh, he wasn't playing a good high competition, but he was still playing well.
Yeah,
you noticed that he was on the field. How's that any like? That's way better than someone playing against the 2s and 3s and you don't even know they're there. Like,
yeah. And obviously, I mean, it does happen where there's people who play great against against second teams and third teams, and then they end up not doing anything after that. But there's also a lot of players that dominate during preseason and then end up being really good players in the NFL. Like that happens probably more often than the people who excel in preseason and then suck.
Yeah,
it happens. It happens all the time. Hey, what up, 6 Shooter Nation?
Come on, man.
Can I get a skull clap? Hey, let's go. Here's a skull clap. I don't got the I can't Jack raps. What's it called? The Ric Flair. But hey, again, everybody in here, we are giving away the GG Sports Podcast shirt, the most comfy shirt in the world with even a better logo. Hashtag Skullfest. We're going Skullfest in this one. So hashtag Skullfest in the comments, like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already for your chance to win the shirt at the end of the show. But yeah, dude, I don't know. Lewisine definitely gave himself a really strong shot. I do also, because obviously the other player a lot of people would be talking about is Andrew Booth Jr. Does sound like he had a good game himself with former Vikings head coach Mike Zimmer.
Yeah.
And that defense. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I wouldn't be surprised if Andrew Booth Jr. steps up in a different situation. Mike Zimmer is that type of. Mike Zimmer's the right coach for a guy like Andrew Booth Jr., I feel like.
Well,
so
what's the famous saying? Mike Zimmer could find a cover 2 corner at a 7-Eleven or something like that. Wasn't that his saying?
Yeah, dude, exactly. All right, let's keep going here because let's go. So I'm going to keep going down this list here. I just want to see who's at the bottom of here. I haven't paid too much attention to what the PFF grades. I kind of like to wait for this. Jacob Francis, Levi Drake Rodriguez.
Game-winning interception, Jacob Francis, by the way.
Jacob Francis.
Probably not making the team, but hey.
Right, probably not. But this guy feels like a shoe-in at this point. LDR, 74.9. Wasn't out there making any mistakes. You saw a couple good plays from him. I wouldn't say it wasn't as impactful as it looked the first game, but still looking like a steal as a 7th-round pick, man. So I know you're excited about that. We're all excited. And then Bo Richter, I think Bo Richter was number 1 last week on Vikings PFF. But again, comes in with a sack. There was one play where he got absolutely handled. And I did notice that because I ended up sending that back to you because I'm like, I saw it like barely missed it. And I'm like, was that Bo Richter? And then I saw
pancake.
Yeah, Luke Braun sent in. I'm like, yes, it was.
By the way, a random interjection here. Where did Levi Drake Rodriguez, did he go to Texas A&M Commerce? Is that where it was?
Yeah.
So funny enough, I was watching the Twins game yesterday, and they had a banner behind home plate for Texas A&M Commerce. I'm like, hey, I know where that is. Sort of. That's the guy that came from there. It's the future Hall of Famer Levi Drake Rodriguez.
Damn straight. Andre Carter, I saw him quite a bit. He's been quietly.
Kevin O'Connell called him out as well.
Really? Because he's been quietly making an impact so far in preseason, I think. In back-to-back games, we've been catching number 55 quite a bit. So it'll be interesting to see what they do, man. There's so much talent there. Obviously, you got Owen Porter right here himself.
Gabriel Murphy might have an uphill battle but it's like, God, I don't know if you even want to risk having to try to waive that guy because someone will take him.
It depends on his health. I don't know, man. We might have to just keep like 10 fucking outside linebackers, edge rushers, or whatever. Let's keep going down this list. Jay Ward's here. See if there's any names. Ivan Pace Jr. I didn't think he was really out there that much.
That's got to be a mistake. That's weird.
Yeah. But keep going down. Brian Asamoah coming back down to earth a little bit. He did have that one sack though. That was
should have been a safety. Should have been a safety. He wasn't called a safety.
Yeah. Theo Jackson did not play last game.
Yeah, I don't think he did. That's total tackles 40. That's got to be. Maybe do they have like multiple guys with like 25 out there and they're just picking him up somehow?
Yeah.
Or is this this isn't like total preseason stats?
Oh, this should just be this one game because you got Taki up. Yeah, I'm pretty sure this is.
I saw another guy because it's Nishan, right? One game from Nishan, right? Because it does show their game count on the left there.
Oh, maybe
Josh
you're
Metellus
right.
is on here. This must be the whole.
This must be the whole one. Oh, that's my bad then.
Yeah, because you have weeks preseason in general, not broken down by
So
the week.
Taki is sitting at 91 in 2 games.
Still, though, I mean, and Lewis Cine is still number 3 after playing 2 games. Wow, so that's cool.
No, we like that. We like that. Let me hold on a second. Let me get by game. Yeah, it should have been, but whatever. All right, now I got the correct one here. Let me get it up.
Yeah, I don't know, 6-shooter. They got some tough decisions to make when it comes to. Okay, well, a lot of them stay the same.
Yeah, they pretty much are going to be the same, but we want to get to the bottom here because then you got Caleb Evans.
You've been too positive this episode. We got to start shitting on some people.
Yeah. And Caleb Evans, I mean, I've been saying it, his coverage 29.9. It's just, I don't think he's the guy.
Yeah. He was glued to that receiver on that one first down pass, and he still couldn't knock it away. Just like,
yeah.
Sound tackler, like you said, good in the run game, but yeah, the coverage skills leave a lot to be desired.
Hey, what up the back, Al Bundy? People get hurt, but we need them all. We need all.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, you can only have 53.
Right. I know that is tough. But yeah, Caleb Evans, I don't know. Haven't been impressed with him so far, especially in these preseasons. I mean, that's an example of like a guy that you were hoping to be a cornerback 1 for your team, and then he's playing against 2s and 3s and not stepping up. So kind of goes both ways. But let's jump into some offense here. Make sure I have the right
names to talk about when it comes to offense.
Yeah. Okay, let's go. Boom. All right. So offense, Jaren Hall, 90. Like I said, he was 3 for 5 for 2 touchdowns with 2 really nice throws. That second touchdown to Deshaun Jones was insane. So 90, great. Good to see him do that because I know we were rooting for him a lot last year. Cine coming in 76.2. He looked definitely very solid. David Quisenberry. So Tristan Jackson 72.7. We talked about him and Naylor. Tristan Jackson just really stepping up. He's been always doing that in these preseasons. But I would say on offense, it's kind of a lot of what's going on at the bottom here. Matt Corral only came on for a few, but just like a Caleb Evans, Ed Ingram, and you talked about him earlier, struggled. You're against second and third teams, and you're struggling.
I mean, and it's really unfortunate that Reisner hasn't been able to be healthy either. So, I mean, it really does make you a little bit concerned about the state of the right guard. I mean, because obviously you're solidified at tackles, center-wise. Garrett Bradbury kind of is what he is, but he's better than Juergens is right now. And left guard, I mean, I think it sounds like they're very, very impressed with what Blake Brandel has done to this point. And I mean, he's easily solidified that left guard spot, and I think he's going to be solid. But yeah, I don't know. Ed Ingram, he's not been good. I mean, there's really no other way around it. He's been a major, major disappointment so far.
Yeah, 100%. Let's keep going here. We got, so kind of went through those players. I guess let's talk about Stephon Gilmore. I'll let you jump into that.
Yeah, so obviously officially signed yesterday. I don't know if they've released the breakdown of the contract, but it is a 1-year deal, $7 million guaranteed with incentives up to $10 million. Again, are we, like you mentioned earlier, are we getting prime 2019 Defensive Player of the Year with the Patriots, Stephon Gilmore? No, but we're still getting a guy with good man coverage skills, a good knowledge of defense. He knows Brian Flores' defense. He's going to be able to help these younger guys learn while also just improving what we have. I mean, Murphy, we were disappointed with last year. Shaq Griffin, he's been a solid player throughout his career with Seattle. But at the end of the day, you don't necessarily know what you're going to have with him. But Gilmore, you're just getting a guy that can come in and command the defensive backfield. And I think he's going to be a solid piece here. I mean, it sounds like they've been interested in him for a while. I think this was more of he wanted to wait till after, when camp kind of got down to a close. He's most likely not going to be playing next week. I think for a team that obviously, with all the moves made, I mean, I thought this even back when they just signed Sam Darnold in the first place, a team that's not just deciding to just throw this season away. This was a very important signing for that defense.
Dude, massive. And I'm with you. Like this to me, what was we said 9 wins? Did we say 9 or 10 before this season?
Well, I think in our prediction video, I think we did like 12, but I think we were just
no. I don't think we did 12. I think we did like 10. No. We didn't go that crazy. I probably mentioned it, but
I think they could win 8 to 9 games, and I think that's what they kind of need to do. I think 8 to 9 wins, being competitive, being in the playoff race all season long, or at least having a shot at it, is kind of what Kwesi and O'Connell needs to do to at least like just quiet down the noise about could they be on the hot seat. I think if they keep competitive this year, I think they get potentially some long-term extensions, maybe just like a 1-year extensions to give them 1 more year to kind of work with what they got. But yeah, I think they're obviously expecting this season to try to be competitive.
Yep. And that was before I was convinced that JJ McCarthy would take the job. So, but no, if we would have had 10 wins, like the whole idea was that we didn't really think JJ McCarthy was going to come and play week 1 anyways. So I do think one thing that was kind of interesting to me is I thought most predictions was with the idea that Sam Darnold was going to be your quarterback for like a majority of the season at least. And maybe you'd have JJ McCarthy come in, but it's kind of interesting to me that ever since JJ McCarthy got hurt, which I do get, like it's depressing. It sucks. That was like the main reason I think a lot of us were exciting, but I don't think that was like the difference between us being a really shit team or not, like a 4-win team compared to a 9-win team, because I think we still have so much, like I mentioned earlier. I mean, we got Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson will be back. He sounds like he's good. Aaron Jones in the backfield now, Christian Darrison, Brian O'Neill, like that whole offensive line has just gotten, just getting older and better. Obviously, Ed Ingram, that's the big problem we're having now, but it sounds like Blake Brandel so far, he's been looking to throw a training camp. The coaches have been loving him, and we saw a little bit of him last week, and I mean, nothing but good things from him so far. So, I mean, on offense, we have everything you want to be a contending team other than your quarterback. Your quarterback has to be figured out. We don't know what we're going to have in Sam Darnold. Is there a chance that he could be the next Geno Smith or Baker Mayfield type of season? Maybe there's a chance. Maybe not. Maybe he's just the same old Sam Darnold. He sucks, and it does hurt us significantly, but he does have so much talent that you don't need. All you need to do is have a guy that doesn't make mistakes in an offense like this. And I do think you'll be able to.
Because even last year, Nick Mullins could operate the offense. He made big plays in this offense with the same cast of receivers. It's just the stupid turnover is what plagued him, right? So if Darnold can, I mean, and Darnold is much more obviously much more highly touted prospect. If he can just limit turnovers and play the way that people know he can play, that we've seen him, and I mean, it was only 1 drive, though we've seen him play in 1 drive of preseason, like. That's the biggest thing. It's literally just mistake mitigation in a scenario like this. So if he can just limit those mistakes, man, Darnold has a shot to A, restart his career, and B, help the Vikings stay competitive.
Yeah, and it's a real, at the very least, you just be smart with the football, and I think he has that. He showed stretches with Carolina, which was a pretty shitty team, that he does have it in a little bit to be somewhat, not super terrible, I guess. So we'll kind of see. I do think this is the best team he's ever played with. I don't know if he's going to be a superstar like some people want him to hopefully be. Hey, I'm crossing my fingers. I'm going to give him the chance. I've told people already, I'll give him 3 games. I'll give him 3 games to prove that he's at least not shitty before we all start shitting on him. Top 5 pick for healthy. What up, Don Keating? Top 5 pick for healthy McCarthy next year. Let's go, baby. Just kidding.
Dang. That's the goal.
I'd be taking the 1st round overall. But no, so I think we have way more. Like, if you think we're going to be a 3 or 4-win team with this offense, you're fucking kidding yourself.
Oh yeah. Again,
and now you're like really forcing. I just feel like you're really forcing us to be. You want us like, why do you want us to be like that shitty? There's just no way.
Right. Cause we won 8 games last year? 7?
Yeah.
7 games.
Our team's better this year than last year.
I mean, and Kirk Cousins won us 3 of those, right?
Right.
So we still were able to win. What was our record last year? Was it 8 wins? Was it
7 or 8 wins? Let me look
8,
it up.
9?
I forget what it is.
Let's see. What was that?
7 wins.
7-10. So we still ended up winning 7 games, keeping ourselves in distance of the playoffs with the combination of Kirk Cousins, who that offense was not good, who was only good for about 2 weeks before he got hurt. Josh Dobbs, who showed up to this team Tuesday and played Sunday.
You know, he's looking like he's doing Josh Dobbs stuff in San Francisco.
Nick Mullins and Jaren Hall. That team with those quarterbacks and Justin Jefferson missing a bulk of those games was able to get 7 wins last year. So how can this team with Sam Darnold not at the very least get something close to that? I just don't.
Yeah, exactly. And you got Aaron Jones. Like the offense is better than last year.
Unless the ghosts are still on the field for him, in which case then you're probably not going to win many games.
If he's throwing more interceptions than touchdowns or whatever, like, all right, that's fair. But hey, give him the benefit of the doubt. You got to ride behind him for now. And then, I mean, if he sucks, then he sucks. But even if he's worst case scenario, he sucks so bad, like he gets benched and you put Nick Mullins in there or something, you're still going to get 7 wins probably. Like, because our offense is too good.
You know what Nick Mullins is on this team. Like, there's weapons. There's weapons all around. It's just like Kevin O'Connell, this is a huge season for him to prove that he is that quarterback whisperer that everybody thinks he can be.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, dude. 100%. And not to mention, again, we still have Brian Flores. We were just talking about earlier with Mateo. I mean, the issue, Sam, and also the schedule. Last year's schedule wasn't as hard as this one is. I mean, it wasn't that. I guess you got the Bears with Caleb Williams now, but last year we still played San Francisco. We still played Kansas City, the 2 Super Bowl teams. We don't play 2 Super Bowl teams this year. We still played the Eagles, Philadelphia. You can argue our schedule is pretty damn close to as difficult as this. And our team, and we got Aaron Jones on offense. We got the same team, except for Jordan Addison's not a rookie anymore. Justin Jefferson is literally in the beginning of his prime. TJ Hawkinson coming back from his injury. But like we said, Aaron Jones, huge upgrade at running back. Sam Darnold, I think it's not crazy. I don't know if Sam Darnold's going to be what we all hope he is going to be. If he's going to be a Geno Smith, if he's going to be one of those players we talked about. But do we think that he can be better than Nick Mullins? Probably. I don't think there's been anybody coming out of training camp or preseason or anything like that saying that Nick Mullins is looking way better than Sam Darnold.
Nick Mullins didn't have to play the first preseason game because Kevin O'Connell's like, we like him, but we know what he is in this offense. We don't need to see it. Like, we know he can operate the offense, but we don't need to see anything else from him because we know he's not really going to get any better. He's not going to get worse. He's just going to be Sam Darnold, or he's going to be
What up? How about no? I wish they would release Mullins. And Mullins, I mean, he started off really nice last game, but then he was getting clobbered, but he started getting shaky. It just shows me again that it's all about Jaron Mahomes. Hey, it's just be making those passes like he did on Saturday that I mentioned it. Dude, that Deshaun Jones, I've been just waiting to see a throw like that coming from our quarterback. And to see from Jaren Hall, I'm not surprised. I saw those kinds of throws in college, but we didn't obviously get a real opportunity to see him making throws like that. Which he also had a big bounce back game from the first preseason game as well. So who knows what we have in him too. Like, I still think there's a real chance that Jaren Hall could be a high-end number 2 quarterback at some point in his career. We'll see. I want to continue. I would say after last preseason game, I was like, oh, I don't know, but he showed a lot this last one. So we'll see what happens with that. But I just think our offense is better. Defense, Brian Flores, another year with the defense. We already know what he can do with a little bit. We already talked about how our cornerback room is for sure better than last year, specifically because we got Gilmore. We're not going to win a Super Bowl. There's probably a small chance we even make playoffs, but we already got our quarterback. Like, we don't need to tank or anything like that. So to think we're just I just don't think we're going to be absolute trash.
Right. I mean, and the thing is, like, we said this going back, like, again, there was more to be excited about because you got to watch a young quarterback develop, but going back to even post draft and when the schedule released, the mindset was like, the success of this team comes down to quarterback play. Like, that hasn't changed. The success of this team still comes down to quarterback play. Nothing's, again, you don't have the young rookie to watch and get excited about, even if your team does suck. Like, that's the other thing. If you suck, it's like, hey, McCarthy's good enough. He's starting next week. Like, that's exciting, right? But it's still a year where it's all dictated on how well Sam Darnold operates the offense and how well him and O'Connell can get along, and if O'Connell can get the best out of him. So to me, the outlook of the season hasn't changed, other than the fact that you're just not excited about watching that young quarterback develop.
Yeah,
it's really the only thing different here.
That's the big difference. Which I get, it's a buzzkill. It is a buzzkill.
Sure. Absolutely. And it's like, but we had this conversation as soon as, like, I think last week after it was announced McCarthy was out for, going to be out for the year. We had the conversation of like, what would you, because obviously, like I said, the people that are already bummed about the season, like, I just want it over with. Like, why is everybody getting so excited? Like, it's football, enjoy it, like, be happy. But like, if you're just looking at this from a purely I'm excited about the season standpoint, are you more excited with Sam Darnold, who you don't know what he could be as your quarterback? Or would you be more excited if Sam Darnold wasn't here and we had Nick Mullins?
Yeah, no, Sam Darnold.
Like, if you had Nick Mullins, then you're probably sitting there like, oh God, we're winning like 4 games this year.
There's like a
because he can operate your offense, yes, but he's going to make mistakes that lose you games. Where Darnold, it is honestly,
you never know.
Mystery box. You never know.
Yeah. Kevin O'Connell. I mean, Kevin O'Connell believes so. Kevin O'Connell thinks there's untapped potential. So, I mean, it's not like you're just bringing like they really think that there's a chance they could open him up. So there is a real chance that it could happen.
Because they signed him before they drafted the new quarterback. So obviously they saw something before they even knew that they're going to transition. I mean, they knew that they were going to try to make a move, but they signed him before they fully knew they were going to transition to a new guy.
Yeah. I'll say this: Addison's dumbass should be suspended. He's going to get suspended.
You were a little biased to begin with. Yeah,
I know you were an Addison guy to begin with, but either way, I mean, there's no question Addison needs to grow up and improve. But I mean, it's happened. Obviously, Michael Irving, some of the Chris Carter, Michael Irving. There's a lot of situations where pro athletes are not great from staying out of trouble and end up turning everything around and being great. So I don't know. I think it's way too early to be like, you can't just trust Addison forever. Though, I don't. He does something that like this again. Yeah, I think it's not going to be good. But we'll give him 2 strikes. He's at 2 strikes right now. Everybody deserves 3 strikes.
I mean, the good thing is, like, yes, I mean, they're both vehicle related, but they're 2 totally separate vehicle related incidents, right? Like, one of them was just being an idiot with a new car and going too fast, and the other one is
being a real
idiot and drinking and driving. But like, they were both 2 totally kind of different. Now, if he does something else next year, then you're probably
extra stupid. You lose drunk. I mean, don't get me wrong.
Yeah, no, we're not saying like, oh, it
is stupid. Like, it's stupid.
And he will be suspended. Like, it's basically under the personal conduct policy. Like, it's going to be a 3-game suspension, and it's going to be after October because that's when the trial is, and they wait for the legal process to play out. I would guess it's probably going to end up being a beginning of next year suspension, maybe, which
probably
we'll see how that ends up going. But yeah, I mean, he needs to grow up. Yes. But I'm not out here like just acting like he needs to be perfect. He's 23 years old.
Yeah. I mean, he made stupid mistakes.
Everybody
should not be doing that.
You've never made a stupid mistake in your life. Come on now.
Come on. And I don't know. I think he deserves one more chance before people are like, all right, we can't trust him. We got to get rid of him this offseason and then go draft a wide receiver. Like, I think Charlie Walters came out and said, like,
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. If he keeps doing it, and even 2 DUIs. Yeah. But still, I don't know. Either way, like, I'm not ready to say that he's just completely untrustable. And I feel, even though he did continue to do something stupid, especially after what happened to Kyrie Jackson in this offense or with Kevin O'Connell as the leader. But I just feel like they just got to be on him because Kevin O'Connell, like just everybody else in the whole, just the environment and the coaching and leadership, everything that's going on there has just been so good that it just is kind of hard to believe that you kind of can still have someone. I guess it's just a personality thing. Maybe Kevin O'Connell's stuff can be kind of soft for some people. And there's just some players that kind of need like a Mike Zimmer type hard-nosed people to stay in line. But I don't know, when you have like Justin Jefferson and stuff, I don't know. I think Jordan Addison, I don't think we're going to see something like this again anytime soon, and hopefully ever again. He does another thing, I'm going to be like, that sucks. And something's probably going to fucking happen because of it, but not yet. We're not there yet.
3 strikes you're out. That's always been the rule. We'll roll with it.
Yeah. And
unless you kill somebody, in which case then you're probably out right away.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's different.
Yeah. Well, yeah, then you're in jail and shit like that. Anyway.
Then you're heavy drugs.
Yeah. But that being said, he's not suspended, and that's why I just can't see this team being totally trash. And with Sam Darnold, like we already said, there might be something there. There might be not. And like what Casey said, would you rather have Sam Darnold, who, even if there's like the smallest chance that he could be something, is better than having a guy that already isn't that person at all, in any extent at all. So I don't know. I definitely am team like, hey, I don't know. Like there's a chance that he's good, and all of a sudden we're a playoff team. Like our team is set up for that type of play. It really just comes down to who can be the quarterback, and maybe he just fails miserably. But even if he sucks, I don't care if you put Jared Hall back there. I still think you get 7 wins with this team, and that's like where I was going with defense. I mean, you still have a second year with Brian Flores, who is a complicated defensive coordinator, and all of our players, or a majority of them, it's their second year in that defense as well. And a lot of these young guys like Ivan Pace Jr., I mean, they're just getting older and they're just getting more experience. And then, like we already talked about, you get a guy like Gilmore, you have Griffin, you got, hopefully we do see more from, I wasn't super impressed by Byron Murphy last year, but our cornerbacks are a lot better. And I mean, even I would easily say our linebacker group as a whole is better, even though you lose Daniil Hunter and Wanham, because I think Van Ginkel's going to be an absolute baller. Sounds like Grenard's looking as good as advertised. Yeah. Dallas Turner, who's been a stud, and you have like 3 undrafted free agents that have just balled out. We haven't got to see a good chance at seeing Gabriel Murphy, but there's just so much talent there. And then our safety room is fantastic with Byron Murphy, Harrison Smith, and Josh Metellus. And then our defensive line, in my opinion, it's kind of Ed Ingram, and you can say Garrett Bradbury, but he's been serviceable at times. You just hope he has a serviceable season. But then our defensive line, that's the biggest concern for me as far as like we don't got size and we don't got a real pass rusher. So hopefully if LDR or Taki, if he ends up making it, if one of them guys can step up in any way, that would be big there. That would be my biggest concern still at this point, especially after the Gilmore signing, is just our defensive line. But I mean, you still have Brian Flores. You still just, our team is set up. You put a starting quarterback on this team, like a for sure one, people would be looking at us as Super Bowl contenders.
I mean, like, yeah, if let's say you put a more known commodity on there, like a Ryan Tannehill, a guy that's known for literally just distributing the football, right? Like he's not going to make the big throws. He's usually in run first offenses. Like if you put a guy like that into this offense, you're probably thinking about 7-8 wins, right? Like if you put a known commodity type of player who is going to come in and just operate your offense for you, like manage the game, as they say. Like you know how many wins you're probably going to get out of something like that with if most people stay healthy on the offense,
right?
So,
no, I think I don't know. I would, the Gilmore thing, and you got the money. You got money. We have what $20 million, $30 million or whatever. Like,
yeah. I mean, but in a year where your rookie quarterback is hurting you and you lose that, unless you just want to be bitter about this season, maybe just find some excitement in knowing that we have a commodity in Sam Darnold, that who we hope is the head coach of the future, thinks that there's something there. Like that's what I keep bringing myself back to. It's like, yes, we're not going to get to develop our rookie quarterback, which sucks. We're not going to get to hear about it and watch it, but we have a quarterback who could potentially play like, and just knowing that Baker Mayfield started his comeback against us last year, like just knowing that we might be able to have something similar with the Sam Darnold, at least gives you something to go into the season with a little bit of excitement. And I know I've talked from this, but if you don't just have a little bit of excitement about that, then you just don't want to have excitement about anything, and you just want to be wallowing in your misery and wonder, and just so you can be complaining. But why am I like, man, this team always disappoints?
And like, hey, after 3 games and
excited going into a football season, it's football. Everyone loves football.
Yeah, and I do get it though. It does suck. The whole JJ McCarthy thing that does definitely suck.
Find some excitement. This is something to at least get your hopes up.
At least, yeah, because before JJ McCarthy went down, like I'll be honest, Sam Darnold, I didn't know. Like I thought there was still a chance for him to be that guy. I wasn't really hoping for it at the time because we wanted JJ McCarthy to get the job and eventually take it over and da. But now JJ McCarthy's out, and now it is kind of like, okay, now we do want Sam Darnold to still have it in him and end up having one of those random Viking years that we just end up playing well, and then we lose that quarterback the next year or whatever. But the real, hey, what up, Darren?
What's going on, Darren?
Hashtag, again, everybody, giving away the GG Sports Podcast, another GG Sports Podcast shirt. Hashtag Skullfest in the comments. Hashtag Skullfest in the comments, giving this away at the end of the show. But yeah, no, I don't know. It hurt seeing that, but I definitely don't think we're going to be a terrible team. And I don't think JJ McCarthy's his injury didn't change that opinion for me, because I just felt like this is JJ McCarthy's rookie year. I wouldn't expect him to come in here and just lead us to a Super Bowl or something like that. And the whole time, like, our team is set up to be good. Do I think this was always going to be a year that wasn't going to be a playoff run type of year, no matter what, but it was still a year that you knew you weren't going to be bad. And then starting next year, when JJ McCarthy's healthy, and that's when the Super Bowl window opens, in my opinion, and you got money to go grab some of these guys in free agency, and you still got a first round pick. And that's when you go make those big moves. But getting a veteran cornerback like Gilmore that will just come here and make your team better, there's no reason. We're not trying to tank. There's no reason to tank anymore. So I don't see why anyone, like, best case scenario, it would be really good for us to even though I hate to say it, but if we made playoffs and lost in the first round of playoffs, I'd be okay with that this year. It was different with Kirk Cousins. I wasn't okay with that anymore. But with Sam Darnold, that would be a huge step forward with what our team is. And you would have to just believe that the rest of the team would be like, okay, when JJ McCarthy is ready, like, we're gonna get going
in place, and we're gonna get more.
And we're gonna get more. So that's kind of like, no matter what that is the season, but I don't think we're gonna be trash. And then with that little bit of hope from Sam Darnold, like that little bit of him unlocking something he hasn't shown yet, and the reason why he got drafted number 2, it's something to be excited, because you never know. What if he just does become who he was supposed to be or something? Even though, I mean, odds are against him, but it has happened. Hey, FT Matty Man, welcome in. Skull Fest, let's go. Yeah, we'll be giving this away pretty quick here, probably, actually. But
I'm just trying to look at some of the So some interior defensive line names who are going to be free agents in 2025.
Yeah,
Aleem McNeil, Osa Odigizua, Milton Williams, DJ Jones, Cameron Hayward, which obviously he's old.
Yeah.
BJ Hill.
Hold on one second, Casey.
There's going to be There's going to be names in there that we could sign at defensive interior. Ooh.
We got How About No with the $5. Appreciate you, How About No.
Thank you, How About No. We appreciate that, man.
Appreciate you. Let's go. Yeah, dude,
there's going to be a lot to spend money on next year too. Yeah. Even if you want to start looking at interior offensive line, I mean, big one. You got Creed Humphrey, Zach Martin, who's obviously a little older in the tooth. Sam Cosme. Like, there's going to be names out there that we can put some money into next year.
I think LDRs are locked.
Absolutely.
He just brings something we don't have, and at this, man, it'll be interesting to see. I'm watching Taki, man. It's going to be hard to put him on there, but he also brings just something we don't have.
I mean, I was watching another channel where they were doing projections of 53-man roster, and they had him and Manoa, I think his last name is. They had those two kind of like one making it, one not. And I think if Taki keeps playing like this, I think he's going to end up making it. I mean, again, he's 6'1", 309. Like he's over that 300 pounds that we just don't have a guy like that. So I'd like it.
Well, and you got to think, like, there's going to be, we need DT. Yeah. Haven't had a DT since
McNeil would be huge if Detroit can re-sign him, which I don't know if they'll be able to.
Who?
Aleem McNeil.
Oh yeah. Yeah, dude, that's the biggest concern. And that's the reason why, I mean, that's the thing. We do have holes on this team where it's like, okay, I can't imagine we're going to be a Super Bowl contender or whatever. But this year wasn't supposed to be a year for that. Unfortunately, in my opinion, it was supposed to be for JJ McCarthy's his development, but we get it. That's what pisses me off the most, is that's kind of how I looked at this season as a whole. But at the same time, I did know we have everything we need to be a great team. Except, I mean, a few holes we have to fill, but the whole idea was develop JJ this year and then go fill those holes this offseason, because now you have the money with Kirk Cousins off the books or whatever. So I think even no matter what, like, this is just a year. We have so many young players on this team. I do think it's a year of a lot of development and things like that.
Is the kicker only starting rookie? I mean, because I guess in base defense or in your base 3-4, yeah, it's probably going to be. Like, you're probably not having Dallas Turner out there as a starter.
And we got studs there. So, yeah, he probably is. Definitely is.
Rotational to start. So, yeah, I would get, kicker is probably the only, like...
Hey, I wouldn't say keeping on...
LDR might make a push before it's all said and done.
And I'm gonna put McGlothern out there as well. Blackman was my pick last year for that. He ended up... He played some first team or whatever. it'd be hard at this point getting Gilmore. It's less likely that McGlothern could possibly. I mean, he still has to make the 53, but he's just shown so. I mean, he's shown many good things.
I know fan favorite Duke Shelley, but if you ask me who I'd rather have on this team between Duke Shelley and Dwight McGlothern, I'm picking Dwight McGlothern 10 times out of 10. Younger, big, 6'2" was he? I think we just 6'2", 185.
That still runs like a 4.4.
He's got some size, man. He's got some size. And look, we all love Duke Shelley after the one
season
he had here, but yeah, I'm taking Dwight McGlothern over Shelley.
Oh yeah, dude. I mean, he's looking so good. I mean, that pick 6 in practice, and then should have been a pick 6 in the actual game. I mean, he's been the highest graded cornerback on our team.
Athleticism. That was a knock.
Yeah, that was a knock.
That showed. But
he just needs He just needs to add a couple more sprints or something.
Yeah. Yep.
No, but I've been so impressed with him so far, and that's like we need someone to jump out in our secondary, and it's also wishful thinking. But there is that little bit of cardio work. There is that little bit of thing of McGlothern where it's just maybe what if he is new to
LSU DBU, is that what they call it?
Go there and played at LSU before. Yeah, he did. Dude, I know. Hey, it's always fun when there's that one rookie that you're just really excited that has an opportunity to grow, especially at a position of need, which obviously we just got a bunch of older guys. Griffin, how old's Griffin? 29? Is he 28 or 29?
I
know Byron Murphy's 27 or whatever, but we got some older people. If we could just somehow
29, yep.
And with Blackman out, because Blackman was going to be that guy that we were hoping to see a young player step up to potentially be a cornerback 1 for us someday. And that was going to be Blackman this year. But if someone on defensive line or in the cornerback room, if one of these young guys can have an Ivan Pace type of season, man, even though I feel like that's asking a lot, but we're seeing some good shit out of all these players. No, why are we keep signing wide receivers? We got 5 that book.
They sign a bunch to have a little bit of flexibility between wide receiver and returner, which is that guy they got today. Yeah, I think they just replaced one with another as well. But
as long as we cut, he should have a positive impact on the team. I think so. I think he could be better. Gilmore had a better career than Terrence Newman.
Well, I mean, and I think so far I've listened to a lot of people talk about this, that they think Griffin coming in now is better than Peterson coming in 2018 or 2019, whatever.
I think Gilmore was always a better cover corner.
He has more talent right now, especially from a man coverage perspective, than Peterson had coming here.
Dude, Gilmore's a dog, dude. He's just one of those very disciplined guys. He's not just banking on his athleticism like a guy like Peterson, right? Those are the guys who bank a lot on their athleticism. I feel like they slowed down earlier because they're so used to using so much of that athleticism. I think with Gilmore, you just get a sound technique type of cornerback. He was a shutdown guy because of those type of things. Not saying he's not athletic, but I think that's same with Terrence Newman, right? Same with Antoine Winfield. Those are those type of players. So I wouldn't be surprised if Gilmore ends up being better than what Newman was for us and better than what even Patrick Peterson was for us. At least, and I'm also being hopeful here, but I think so. I mean, we were hoping for Gilmore before free agency even started.
Yep.
So
for sure.
Especially because it's just a free agent. $10 million, whatever. We have the money now. And I'm just glad for a season like this, I'm just glad you didn't go out and trade some picks for somebody, because I don't think it's that kind of season. Yeah. I think that's what you do next year, maybe, but not this year. So going to get Gilmore just to give yourself a better chance. I personally don't see any downside of it, barely any. That's why I was just so surprised by so many people just being you wanted us to be why you want us to be that bad where you're going to be pissed off that we got Gilmore. Why would you want us to be that bad? Because we don't need a tank.
It's the Kwesi haters that just want him to be fired, and they're going to talk down every single thing that he has to do because they just want him out of here. But
who's at risk come roster cuts that you'd really like to see them find a way to keep?
Lewis Cine after last
it's
game.
Hard. Lewis Cine, it's tough because you want Lewis Cine to succeed so bad, but I think most of our fan base were just he's not him. But then that last game just shot back a little bit of hope. Like, what if he still can be or whatever?
Probably. I mean, with all the hype around Murphy, even though he hasn't played, and with all the hype around Bo Richter and his time he's gotten, like you do feel like it is going to come down to Richter versus Carter, unless they decide to keep more outside linebackers. But I think Andre Carter is a guy, because I think there's a lot of potential there. That I think he's a guy I would like to see them. I think around.
Richter would probably be my number one.
Yeah,
for the same exact reason.
Pretty, I want to say safe.
It's hard though, because
it's a fringe roster guy.
He is, even because you see this all the time where there's a guy who steps up and gets like 4 sacks in preseason and they don't make the team. Like you do see that quite a bit.
Or you see a guy who returns 2 pick sixes and does make the team and does nothing, like Adi Cole did back in the day.
Exactly. So that's a big thing. Is I would still say that Richter, because before this, no one said anything about him in training camp. Like we had our training camp video. I mentioned it before, but we had a training camp video. We had him on our list for the next. We did top 3 next Ivan Pace Jr. He was on our list. We were super pumped about him as an undrafted free agent. Like we liked him a lot. And then I heard nothing about him in training camp. And then I was like disappointed. I was like, dang it, I guess he's not going to be the guy. Because his energy and everything. And obviously he's fucking monster looking dude. Yeah. But then he comes out and looks great in especially the first one in 2 preseasons. So I feel like he's still on the fringe, especially in that such a deep position group. But he's a guy I would like to like give him a chance on this year or whatever. I don't think he sticks. I do think if he goes, he maybe he would make it to the 53, or the practice squad.
I don't know. It'll be interesting. Anybody else I can think of? Probably Taki after a couple of nice games from him.
Yeah.
Him try to stick around.
A lot of the young undrafted free agents. McLaughrin, I think he's a lock. He should be a lock in my opinion.
I mean, he's a young corner that's made some plays. Like that's what we've been.
And you need that. We lost all our young corners. So you need someone that you feel like you have even some sort of project to develop. That's why like McLaughrin, you got exactly what you want. He's looked good so far, and you have veterans in here. I mean, it would kind of suck if you have a guy like Gilmore and Shaq Griffin on your team, but you have no young players that they can help teach to develop. Because that's the reason why we need a lot of, like last year, I really wanted this veteran presence specifically because we didn't have much of it. And we had Blackman coming in. We had Caleb Evans and Andrew Booth Jr. At the time. So I don't know. I think McLaughlin's a lock. I'd be really disappointed if he ended up not making it so far. It wouldn't even make any sense to me.
Yeah, I think he feels pretty safe, but
we all can get in the defensive back. We need all we can get.
Do. Yeah, that's for sure.
Especially if he plays like that, just someone that can just lay down some hits,
Prime Harrison Smith
off the edge,
like Prime Harrison Smith.
Yeah, all we need is Lewisine to be Prime Harrison Smith.
There we go. That's it.
We're not asking too much. We feel that one Cleveland game, one preseason Cleveland game, just complete 360. Seems Harrison Smith again. Better. Yeah. He's going to be the better safety than Kyle Hamilton, which I think Kyle Hamilton's injured, but no, we'll see what happens with Cine. I think he definitely made a case to make the 53, and I think a lot of that will, if he can duplicate at least somewhat of what he did in this last game. But
yeah, for sure.
Like I said, Tristan Jackson is the best number 8. Hey, facts. He's going to give us the best chance to win the big games, at least.
When he first commented that, I had to think, I'm like, who the hell is number 8 after Longwell? I'm like, oh, duh.
Mr. Kirk
Cousins.
Only
the most polarizing Minnesota Vikings player.
Speaking of him,
since
some people are thinking that he's not going to be ready for week 1, and they might see
because they weren't starting Michael Penix. Yeah, I saw that.
That'd be crazy because if Michael Penix comes out and fucking lights it up,
he might.
It's possible.
Like again, I watched his first preseason game, and a lot of the things that we noticed watching. I mean, I was a lot higher on him than you were, but a lot of the things that you told me to watch for, because you watched his tape before I did, and I did notice as well the overthrowing and that type of stuff.
I just saw that in the national championship.
Yeah,
what up, Russell?
It all did pop up. But he also made a couple absolutely beautiful dime throws too. So I wouldn't be surprised if he, ends up starting and not.
Yeah, all these quarterbacks are looking good.
He might not give Kirk the job back.
And Jaden Daniels for sure took the number 1 job.
You know, outside
for Washington.
Caleb Williams.
What's his name? Gardner Minshew took the job for Oakland.
But when it comes to the rookies drafted, I think Drake May is the least likely to start the season as starter. I mean, again, the situation is kind of over here. You got to just look at it from a health perspective. But I mean, like, I don't know, man, because Drake May sounds like he's in a pretty hefty competition with Jacoby Brissett, even though neither of them look great because that team sucks. But
yeah, Bo Nix is he's gonna bust. Hey, let's get going though. Let's give away this shirt. Again, everybody in here giving away the GG Sports Podcast shirt. Russell, yours is on its way. As well as Darren, yours is on its way. But you guys could win another one. Like I said, most comfortable shirt you'll ever own with an even better logo. So get the hashtag Skullfests in the comments. Hashtag Skullfests. Like the video and subscribe if you haven't already.
Yeah, it's gonna be a sad story when the Patriots take Drake May and absolutely just demolish his career. Honestly, the only place Drake May could have gone and actually succeeded right away was here. Because even if he ends up going to the Giants, like they were talking about, he wasn't going to do shit with the Giants.
No.
Like, this is really the only opportunity. Coming here would have been the only opportunity he would have had to have been solid.
And I like especially like JJ McCarthy, we made the right
not having to give up a billion picks to go get him. Absolutely.
Obviously, injury fucking sucks.
Oh, absolutely, for sure.
Bad, but whatever. It's all good. It's all good. We're gonna go do the duck raise. Two Evil did show me this other game. It takes a little bit to set up and everything, but we might try that in the future. Hey, Barber's here. I never have any doubt every single time, Barber. I just know every time. I know, and I know we need to get you a shirt, bro. We need to get you a shirt. Hopefully you get into those duck races every time.
I'm going to speak it into existence. He's winning today. Speaking it into existence.
Oh, yeah. Let me see. I see. You guys are shaking your boots at Bo Nix will be great, and Fart Carthy will be trying to bust. I'm going to lie. I really don't want. I don't think JJ McCarthy is going to be a bust, but I don't want Bo Nix to be good. But mostly because the Sean Payne, talk about like some arrogant shit coming out of his mouth. Like, fuck that dude. So I'm sorry. I have nothing against Bo Nix. Bo Nix just takes massive shit-ons. He takes massive shits. Takes massive shit-ons throughout this entire draft process through preseason. Like, he's going to be the guy that nobody will respect until he literally forces it. And it's nothing to do with him. It has nothing to do with him, really.
Yeah, it's like one of those. I mean, like no one was super excited about. I mean, in our circle, nobody was super excited about him coming out of the draft. Yeah. But I mean, yeah, it's again nothing against him. Like I think he's going to be a fine. I mean, still, I think I don't know. At times, he still looks game managery in his couple highlights he has. But yeah, I did see that, and I think it's just kind of like
he's soft.
I mean, who goes? What he said, like when you have a terrible person, like that was just such a dumb thing to say. Saying things that you shouldn't be saying to people or something like I don't know. Yeah,
he doesn't really seem like he'd be doing shit like that. At least
Brian Flores, he's a defensive minded head coach.
Yeah, hey, you got it. Yeah, defense is tough. That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it is. 6.7 per pass. Bo shits. Yeah, I don't want Mr. 6.7. Yeah, I know. It sounds like it's a lot of that still, but I haven't really watched them yet. All right.
Retirement.
Let's get these names going here. And then obviously anybody that hasn't been in here before already knows we pick 5 names, got to be here to make it to the duck race, all that good stuff. We're going to get rolling right away here. Boom. Got to be here to make it to the next round. And the first one is boom. Big Raylan.
Okay, let's go.
Oh, I know Big Raylan's in here. Big Raylan, you're still in here, right?
Should be.
And we'll just keep rolling.
I'm not here, he said.
I knew it. He's
here, but he's not here. He's doing his draft.
Let's be honest, too, as part of the soft ass gen, yeah.
Dan.
Dan, are you still in here? It's been a minute. Oh, it wasn't that long ago. See, JJ McCarthy, he doesn't have that softness, bro. I'm telling you. That dude took that hit like a champ and threw a fucking strike. He might have torn his meniscus. He tore his meniscus and threw for 2 fucking baller ass touchdowns, especially that one. All right, we'll keep rolling, Dan. If you're in here, let us know. Boom. Who do we got? Who do we got next? And it is boom. Gary. Let's go. I need to see Gary in here. Gary's won one of these duck races already, which your card should be getting there soon, Gary, if it's not already. Let's keep rolling. Dan's here. Let's go. Nice. All right, 2 more. Let's keep it going. Oh, you're good, bro. No worries. Here, Gary. Boom. Barber.
Hey,
oh, man. We knew it.
I knew he was going to make it.
Oh, man. That's what we're talking about. All right. One more. Hey, Barber, are you here? Hey, Mary in the building. What's up, Mary? Let's get it. And how about no? Yeah, you're still here. There's no doubt. Is
that all 5?
That is all 5.
We're going to have a tightly contested race this time.
This is going to be good. I'm excited for this one. The GG Sports Podcast t-shirt. Like I said, most comfortable t-shirt in the world. Even better logo. Just some random shit I'm making up over here. All right. We got this. 45 seconds. Set. Do you see the duck race, Casey?
I do. One more shuffle.
Yeah, we have to do at least one shuffle.
One
more.
One more.
The sex slave duck.
One more.
Oh, that was super whack. Whack. Quack.
Come on. You're lame.
Whack.
Ooh.
Quack.
Come on, duck race. Give us some good ducks.
Purple duck. The purple duck's a lucky duck. Green duck. Fuck the green duck. What do you think? This one?
One more will do it. Sure. Why not?
We got spa duck. All right. All of them are different. All right. Here we go.
We got graduate duck.
Graduate duck. Boys already have one.
We got Dr. Duck, and then we got scuba duck.
Sounds good, Gary. Sounds good. By the way, we're still waiting on the hats. I'm hopefully we get an email soon just to get what the mock-ups look like or whatever. But hopefully within a month or month and a half, we should have them. But all right, let's get going. 3, 2, 1. Boom. What we got? Dan's in the lead in the beginning. Big Raylan second. Gary in third. How about No is fourth, and Barber is sitting.
I'm feeling good about Barber this time. He's hanging near the back, just ready to turn the burners on.
He is. 29 seconds, 28 seconds.
Oh, Barber's going to turn the burners on right here.
Anything can happen here. We got, almost 20 seconds. All right. Big Raylan's leading it. Barber will win. Skull Mafia says. Dan's holding tight. 14 seconds left. Is Barber going to push off the back?
What?
Is Barber going to push off? Oh. He's coming.
I don't think there's enough time.
Big Raylan said nope. Big Raylan said no.
Oh my God.
And he's got it. My guy. Big Raylan with another shirt. Let's go.
I've never seen that before, Barber. I've never seen the last duck just kind of stay there. He was too busy at the spa, I guess. He wasn't he didn't have his head in the game.
Yeah, nope, wasn't in the game at all. Let's go, my guy.
Such bad luck. Barber, I'm gonna get you news. This is one of these days.
I know.
You're gonna get it. It's gonna happen. I feel it.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. All right. Anything else? I mean, obviously, I guess coming up, one thing, Twins, only a few games back from the best record in the MLB.
They could have pulled another game in yesterday, but they were up 4-0 in like the
we
third
appreciate
inning.
you so much, dude.
They got all the way down near to the end, and you just kind of felt like Pablo
we got
you,
Barber.
Every innings.
We're gonna get you one no matter what, Barber.
You felt like something was gonna take a turn because we were just like gonna let them back in, and then and you can't be mad about this. Alcala has been pitching so well all year long at a 2.15 ERA. Comes in, allows 5 runs, tied up in the bottom or the top of the 9th inning, and then kind of on a funky play between Miranda and Santana, who had a huge play earlier. Little error.
Sounds good, Mary.
For the winning run.
Mary, does that mean Justin's not going to Skullfest?
What? Boo.
Tell me that's not the case. Tell me that's not the case.
Sounds good. I will get Rap my address so you can get that over to you. For sure.
It's almost time to drink beer together, dude. I can't wait. I can't believe it. Like what? A couple weeks here, a few weeks. It's coming close, dude. Gifted? I can't wait.
Doing a little gift in here.
Dang, I have a shirt. Send that one to Barber. Are you sure, Big Raylin? Yeah, we haven't heard much if he was or not. I'm trying to make him go, though. All right. Barber. Big Raylin is gifting you the shirt. Dang it.
How can you? Okay, all right. To each their own.
Send that one to Barber. I have a shirt. Hey, Big Raylin, we appreciate that.
$199 from Big Raylin Dad. We appreciate that.
Let's go. Appreciate it, man. Barber's well deserved, man. Barber's always in here just with you guys every single time, and we appreciate all of you.
Absolutely. And by believe,
are you gonna go to Skullfest? I thought you said you were thinking about it, or you were planning on it.
Who are you talking to?
Big Raylin. Let's go. That's one thing. Somebody needs to go find Joey. I don't know where he's at. I haven't seen him in a while. I don't know. Someone find Joey.
Maybe he's on tour. Maybe he's been too busy shredding. He's on tour playing.
He needs to be shredding on the show.
He does.
But no, we get to see. It will be fun because we get to see. I don't know. Did the game already start? Twins game?
No, they're in San Diego. It starts at 8:40.
Let's go.
Sweet.
Let's go.
Glad to hear.
That's what we're talking about. What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we get to see that young kid again, the rookie pitch again tonight, right?
Oh, Zebby?
Yeah, I believe he's pitching tonight.
Yep. He is pitching tonight.
So I'm kind of excited to see how he does.
Yesterday leaves a bad taste in your mouth, but you can't be upset about taking 3 out of 4.
Yeah, I don't know where Scoldger. I haven't seen Scoldger Soup in a while. I know it's kind of disappointing because you want to see the people that made it to Skullfest last year at least.
I mean, we haven't seen Sodak ourselves here, but I know he was on Saturday. He's been on Raps.
Yeah, I haven't seen. Yeah, hopefully Sodak goes.
Maybe we pissed him off. I don't know. No. If we did, I apologize.
We'll talk to him at the thing. Like, where you been at? Other than that, Vikings obviously last preseason game.
Mm-hmm.
I actually leave for. I decided F Skullfest. Yeah, Gary, that'd be fucking crazy. That's not even happening. I wouldn't even allow. I would not allow that even.
Yeah. But yeah, like you're getting into, we do have the final preseason game this week. Then it's all done. Then we get a week off, and then we go into the regular season. All good stuff. But we do have to get off here because Rap and Realistic Randy are on in about 7 minutes with Purple Parlor. So I'm sure a lot of you are going to want to hop over
Everybody
there.
should definitely
shortly after Jamie has something to say.
What was I going to say? Oh yeah. So we've been doing our pregame videos so far in preseason. We're going to be continuing doing those throughout all of the regular season. This week, I think we're going to be working on a video to release, but no pregame video this week because I leave Wednesday for a bachelor party, so I just won't have time to do all this stuff. So yeah, I guess a quick update on that, and then after that, just getting ready for the regular season, man, but yeah, just like Casey said, Purple Parlors, their second episode with Rap, with SK, and with Realistic Randy. After this.
Do they have their own channel for that, or do they just do it on?
I think they do. No, I think they have their own channel. Here, I got it. We sub to it. Here, I'm just gonna put the link to their. I mean, that show is gonna be Oh, dude, 100%.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have like 10 for you, Gary. This is the best. Obviously, anybody in here, definitely go check them out. Their show, I bet you their show is gonna take off like crazy.
With those
so
three, most likely.
Oh yeah. So definitely go tap into Purple Parlor. I'll probably pop in for a bit too. So say what's up there.
But we will get out of your guys' hair for the evening. Again, thank you guys so much for joining us. Anybody that dropped a super chat, we appreciate you. If you didn't and you were here just to have fun and join us anyway, we appreciate you guys as well. But yeah, next Monday, we'll be right back here talking about the final preseason game. Looking forward to the regular season, maybe talking about some 53-man roster predictions. Still a lot to go before the season actually starts, but we are getting there. It's right around the corner. And
let's go.
Thank you guys so much for joining. We'll see you guys next week right here, GG Sports Podcast. See you then.
Let's go.